So here's a question for you. Was Adele's Rumor Has It built on the minor pentatonic scale, or was it built on the minor blues scale? The answer? Both. And then some. Let's check it out. In this video, we're going to look at the Adele song Rumor Has It. We're going to look at the melody and some of the chords and how it all comes together. Now, Rumor Has It is an interesting song. Apart from her amazing voice and her delivery and the lyrics and all of that, it is based mostly on the minor pentatonic scale. You will see that in a minute when we go over the melody. For a second though, let's talk about the minor pentatonic scale. So in Rumor Has It, the key that we're looking at here is D minor, right? So if this were a song in D natural minor, then the scale we would be using would be but because this song is mostly based on the minor pentatonic scale, let's look at that for a second. So as you can see, the way it is structured is it has 1, it skips the 2, goes to the 3, minor 3 or flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 8. So 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 8. Right? Or if you want to look at that from a solfeggio standpoint, that would be Do, Me, Fa, Sol, Te, Do, Te, Sol, Fa, Me, Do. Right? Now, let's listen to her first verse and listen carefully and see if you can check out how she's using only some of these notes from the minor pentatonic in her verse. Let's take a listen.
She ain't real. She ain't gonna be able to love you like I will. She is a stranger. You and I have history, or don't you remember?
Okay, so Adele is going here. She ain't real. And then so that's kind of the first two lines. The second line has a slight variation, but if we look at this under the lens of the minor pentatonic scale, so she's starting on the 1 or Do, and then she keeps, basically she's really only using a couple of notes. It's 1, 1, 7, 1, or Do, Do, Te, Do, Sol, 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 Te, Do, Do, Te, Do, Te, Do, Me, Do, Sol, Te, Do, Me, Do. So that's basically the structure of her verse. Do, Do, Te, Do, Sol, 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 Te, Do, Do, Te, Do, Te, Do, Me, Do. Right? And then she adds 2 more notes in the pre-chorus. Let's take a listen to that.
But baby, is that really what you want?
Here we go.
Blessed up, so you got your head in the clouds. You made a fool out of you, and boy, she's bringing you down. She made your heart melt, but you're cold to the core. Now rumor has it she ain't got your love anymore. Rumor has it.
And so on. So here we have, she's starting on Me. She's starting on the 3, right? Me, 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 do, me, do, me, me, do, me. Te, do, do, me, do, me. Do, 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 sol, fa, me, do. And then she does this little slide. It's so cool. Do, 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 sol, fa, me, do, te. She's landing on the te, like she's kind of like skidding on ice. And then kind of a repetition of the same thing. Da, 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 da. So more me, do, me, do, me, do, me, do, or flat 3, 1, flat 3, 1. And then on that last phrase before the chorus, that really low one, she brings in the minor blues scale, right? It's like la da 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 da. Let's listen to that for another second. Here you go.
Now rumor has it she ain't got your love anymore.
Right? Now rumor has it she ain't got your love anymore. So That's your verse and your pre-chorus. And again, except for that one little phrase right before the chorus, it's all minor pentatonic. It's all right. And then in the chorus, she returns to the minor pentatonic. Just her part of singing. We'll look at the other layers in a second. So she just has this little call and response thing where she goes, rumor, rumor has it, rumor, rumor has it. So that's all do, do, fa, fa, me, me, do, fa, fa, me, me, right? So that's all just do, me, fa, me, do. Okay, so what is the minor blues scale? Again, looking at the minor pentatonic, we said it looks like this. Right? So 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 8. Or do, me, fa, sol, de, do. Right? The minor blues scale is derived from the minor pentatonic. All you're doing is you're adding one pitch. And so it looks like this. Right? So you got this sharp 4 in there. That gives it a bit of crunch, a bit of tension. And that's the only difference between the minor pentatonic and the minor blues scale. So let's sing that once with numbers. So that would be 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1, right? Or 8, really, because it's an octave higher. And if we do that with solfeggio, that would be do, me, fa, fi, sol, de, do, do, de, sol, fi, fa, me, do. So Adele, in her song Rumor Has It, basically bounces back and forth between those two. So let's have a look at the backup vocals at the very beginning, the stuff she comes in right after that cool drum intro. Let's take a listen. There's 2 voices at the very beginning. First one comes in on this pitch. Here comes the second one.
She ain't real. She ain't gonna be able to love you like I will.
And so on. So you got the first one. Ooh, ooh. So that's do, me. Again, that's the first 2 pitches of the minor pentatonic. Do, do. And then the second one that comes in, right when she also starts the lead vocals, is this da, da. And that kind of starts on fa, right? And then she does this little trill thing where she goes up and down to the fi and back to fa. Fa, fi, fa, me, fa, fi, fa, me. So we have on the one hand, do, me, do, me, do, me, do, me. And then the second one, fa, fi, fa, me, fa, fi, fa, me, fa, fi, fa, me, la, 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 la. Take a listen one more time and see if you can hear those 2 voices. Second one.
She ain't real. She ain't gonna be able to love you like I will.
Right? So really, right from the beginning, you have those 2 scales juxtaposed on top of each other. You have them in the background, but her lead vocal is purely minor pentatonic. Okay, now let's listen to another element that she brings in for the first time in the first chorus, and it's the bass line. Take a listen and see if you can pick it out. Just going to play it for a second. Right? That's so cool. That's such a cool little lick. And in the production, they're using a little grace note that kind of slides up to the 5. So technically, it's really just minor triad, arpeggiated, like 1, 5, 3, right? Da 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 da. But slight difference. There's a little in there. So there's like we would call that a grace note. That's just like a little scoop up to the 5. So instead of just going do, sol, me, do, sol, me, do, sol, me, there's a little fi in there right before the sol. So it's do, fi, sol, me, do, fi, sol, me, do, fi, sol, me. And then at the end, they get a little bit more explicit about it. And that's do, sol, me, fa, fi, fa. So the whole bass riff that's used in the chorus and then also in the second verse goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me play the chorus one more time and see if you can now hear what's going on there.
Got your love anymore.
So in the chorus, there's really a lot going on. And basically, they're bringing everything together that they have introduced so far. So you have the 2 lines of backup vocals that they introduced at the very beginning of the song, right? This do, the, de, with a little yodel in there. And then the one that starts on the 4, la, la. So those 2 are there. Then the bass line is there. Do, lit, de, do, lit, de, do, lit, de, do, lit, do, ba, it up. Right? And then also that little call and response thing where she goes, rumor, rumor has it, rumor, rumor has it. So we could call that a call and response thing, and they're like within the measure. And that's something that is very typical in blues and in the structure of the blues. So now let's talk about the chords for a second.